Ladies and gentlemen, it is currently the 25th of March. It is 6:03.
6:03.
And we have Mr. Lippman and
the launch of the iPad 2, the long-awaited iPad 2. There's now a month's waiting list for this. We have a couple of these, one for an important client of ours, and one for the equally important Storm IT. There we go. Right, so Amar braved the queues. There's Amar. I'd like to say thank you to Amar for braving the queue. We've also got a couple of leather covers.
so these are the new leather covers as opposed to the older style.
These are the smart cover, which they snap on and do lots of jiggery pokery, which no doubt we'll be testing next week. But let's just take a quick look at the pad. Let's see what it feels like, and then we'll sync it up. So we see what it looks like. Right, iPad 2. This is the moment of truth. Right, okay, so again, standard box, great quality, what you'd expect from Apple. And here we go. So let's see how it feels light. I mean, it actually doesn't feel as light, first impression, as you think. It's now apparently thinner than the iPhone 4. So a third thinner than the first iPad. It does feel lighter than the last one, but not as light as you'd expect. Still quite sturdy. Aluminium base, which again you would expect. This is the 64 gig I should say, 3G Wi-Fi version. There we go. Pretty thin, pretty sexy. What we'll do is we'll sync her up to iTunes and we'll have a play. Morning everyone, welcome back to Storm IT. It's the Monday after the Friday before from the launch of the iPad 2. If you watch the previous videos you'll see one of the guys who went down to Brent Cross to pick it up from the launch, the manic launch of Brent Cross at 5 o'clock on the 25th. It's now 2 days later, which is the Monday. I've obviously had a few days to play with it, to load some apps on it, to get a really good feel of it, give it around to people, give it around to members of the family for them to have a play with. And I'm just going to talk to you about my initial feelings, and then what I'll do is I'll hand it round to the office to see what the technicians and the team think about the new device. Obviously it's 8.8mm thin, it's 1.3 pounds in weight. It is smaller than or thinner I should say, than the iPhone 4. Features, new spec features are faster processor, so it's twice as fast as the old iPad. And what we'll do later on is we'll actually have a road test with the old iPad, and we'll actually see how fast it is compared to that. But it is fast. It's got FaceTime camera at the front, video stills camera at the back. We did a bit of practicing with FaceTime at the weekend and it worked. People familiar from the iPhone 4, it worked exactly the same, obviously bigger screen. And yeah, I mean, what have they done? That's the big question. What have Apple actually done a year later in a market that they actually created? And funny enough, they haven't reinvented the wheel. All they've done really is kind of refined the device. So it's just as good as the last one, slightly faster, it's got a few more features on it. Battery life is still exactly the same, and I really have enjoyed using this even more over the weekend. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to head over to the guys, see what they think, and we'll come back shortly.